The Ramban, Rabbi Moses ben Nachman, that he lived um, about, what is it, 700 years ago, some after Maimonides, and he was a holy person, a great Kabbalist, a genius in the Talmud, every aspect of the Torah, very holy person. And he had a pupil, and the pupil was called AVNER. And this pupil was also a big genius, very intelligent for this, but he was a little bit of an egotist. And that was sufficient to start this whole story. What's the story? That once the Rabbi Moses ben Nachman, we're talking about the Ramban. So he gave a speech to his pupils, and he said that everything that is mentioned in the Torah is it can be found in the world, and everything that's found in the world, you can find its source in the Torah. Like we just finished learning that everything is what's called hashkacha pratit. Everything is everything, even the most insignificant details are from God. And not only are they from God in general, but you can also find them in the Torah. In the Torah. So this one pupil, his name was Avner, and he heard this and he rejected it, rebelled. He said, Rabbi, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. Everything in the Torah comes from God. Everything in the, I'm sorry, everything in the world comes from the Torah. Everything in the world can be found in the Torah. Everything in the world. Why, that's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. I mean, the Torah is a spiritual book. It's the book of the Jews. What's it got to do with every detail? It has to do with religious things, the Torah, the commandments, and our rituals and our customs. But what's it got to do with every little detail? Anyway, he became more and more bitter, and he was very intelligent, so he could justify everything that he did, and eventually estranged himself totally from Judaism. Totally from Judaism. I don't remember in the story if it said what he did, but he did whatever he could to show that he had no connection to Torah and commandments whatsoever, and he became very successful in doing so. It could be that he even changed his religion. It could be. Anyway, in the course of time, this Avner became very important, very could be even moved up in the church or something. And he became very important. And it happened that he met up with his teacher, Ramban. And he said, oh, hello, my old teacher. He said, Avner, what happened to you? What happened? He said, oh, that sentence that you said once that everything that happens in the world, everything in the world is hinted at in the Torah. Hinted at the. He said, yes, that's right. That's what I said, and that's right. He said, oh, yeah, really? Okay, Rabbi, where am I hinted at in the Torah? Where am I hinted at in the Torah? Right? Where am I hinted in the Torah? I left the Torah. I have no connection to the Torah. How does the Torah hint at that? And he said, oh, I can tell you in a second. Right? Want to see? Here, show you. Let's see the sentence. Right, here we go. Yes. This is in last week's Torah portion that we read. It's called Ha'azinu. It's a song that Moses said should be sung to the Jewish people because he knows that they're going to leave the ways of God. He knows the Jewish people are going to rebel, right? So maybe I can I do it this way? Let me see. Let me just have it 1 second over here. Let's see if I can do this like this. Oh, see? There you go. My picture is there. Okay. So what's the sentence said? It says, Amarti, God is saying, Amarti, I said, Af Ahem, I will erase them. Right? Make them ephes. Ashbita, I will remove me'enesh from mankind, zichrom, even their mention. Right? God said that I see that the Jews are sinning, and I said to myself, that's it, I'm going to erase them, and I will remove from mankind even the memory that there was such a thing as Jews. Right? Amarti. So he said to him, that's basically what you said, right? You said, I'm wiping out Judaism. I don't want any connection to it whatsoever. He said, but you should know that's what God said also. And if anybody's going to get wiped out, it's you. And that's where it's hinted at here. How? He said in this sentence, look at the third letter of every word. Look at the third letter of, that's the third letter of every word. I think that's right. That's because he said, you have left one God for three gods. Because that they had the Father with the Son, with this stuff. You left one God for three gods. So let's look at the third word that it says over here, right? Your religion, Catholics, whatever, they're trying to wipe out Judaism. I'll wipe out Judaism. Nobody even mentioned the Jews anymore, right? So but God is saying the same thing. God is saying that I'll wipe them out and they won't have any memory, right? So you've left the one God for number three. Look at the third letter of every word of this sentence. What's the first letter? First letter is R, that stands for rabbi. Aleph, Beit, that's Av. Nun, Resh, Avner. That's your name, Avner. And the Resh is there to show that you can come back and be a rabbi again, that you can return. Avner saw this, and he realized, and the Ramban said it in a second. So that's where it's hinted at in the Torah, your name. That's you. That's your whole essence. Suddenly, Avner started to realize that what the Ramban said was true. That everything that happens in the world, everything, every detail, even the most heinous details, are hinted at in the Torah. You have to be a genius, like a holy genius, like the Ramban, in order to bring it out. But nevertheless, here it is. Amarti Ephraim, and there's the name Avner was hinted at, and the Reish is showing that he's a rabbi, that he can return back to Judaism if he wants to. Have a good day with Mashiach now. We'll meet tomorrow at 8:15 with Mashiach immediately. Turn this off, stop the share, stop the